What's up, people? Mike here, and this is Batman Arkham Knight, new game plus. So, after dealing with Harley and the Joker patients, we need to investigate the seismic activity that's at the Botanical Gardens with Ivy. But first, the upgrade that we chose in Panessa Studios when Alfred called us, we just have to pick that up. And the thing is that if you're driving through the city, you don't run into a lot of the tanks that are just on the ground. So for the most part, you can probably just like completely drive past them and not really get into like firefights with them. But if you just want to completely avoid like any confrontations with the tanks when you're trying to get to like the story mission, just sticking to the rooftops and gliding is really the best thing to do. So this was one of these moments where I just ran into a bunch of these tanks, and I probably could have just drove away from them and just not dealt with them, but I just decided to deal with them. It's pretty much at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm just saying, just run into a whole bunch of these things, so let me just get the hell out of here. And it just works out that I drive right into this fucking Diamondback. So, sticking to the rooftops would be the better option. I'm not really sure why I wasn't doing that, but it happens. Here's this stupid cop car again in my goddamn way. So as I'm recording these voiceovers, I've finished the game. I don't believe I mentioned that in one of the previous videos.
Alfred, I've located the source of
the final section with Scarecrow being as mostly cutscene heavy, I have an idea of how I'm gonna like cut down the video, but I don't know how long it's gonna end up being. I still have to go through the process of doing that, but it's weird. It's like, compared to the other Batman games, I felt like the way the game ended didn't really have like an ending, because the whole thing is that you have like the Nightfall Protocol ending, but they didn't just have like, here's the ending of the game, now do this to get the real ending to the game. It's just like, oh, you need to do all this stuff just so you can get an actual ending. Because basically the game ends with you just bringing Scarecrow to GCPD, and that's it. You talk to Alfred, you tell him to prepare the Nightfall Protocol, and then you need to capture a certain amount of enemies to initiate it. So I don't know. I felt like they could have done a better job of giving us one ending and then having us do the requirements for the true ending, if you want to call it that. But it's whatever. So after you protect Ivy, who actually will occasionally help you with the tanks, you get 5 of these Cobra tanks. I don't believe their locations of them spawning are the same, but I could be wrong. I ended up getting fucked the first time here because I ended up getting stuck on an elevated surface by where you're protecting Ivy, and I just got like just annihilated with like a bunch of missiles and ended up getting blown up. It was just one of those moments where I somehow stuck myself on like an elevated surface and I just could not move. So I ended up having to restart, and because I knew where I was to where they spawned, I was trying to like get somewhat outside of their spawn location so I had a better chance of being behind at least one of them when they spawned in. But their exact locations of spawning, I'm not sure the same or if it's kind of random. And this is me fucking up because I didn't think the sensor light went that low, and then that was a moment of me driving into another one of the tanks like a moron. So, but as I mentioned before with the Cobra tanks, if you have the upgrade that you can distract them with shooting like a building close by and they go and investigate it, it makes getting behind them so much easier as I play Ring Around the Rosie with this Cobra tank, trying to get behind him and keep a building in my way from his tracking light or whatever. And then there was one of these moments where one of these roadblocks, for some reason the barrier is down, so I decided to just kill all of them, and well, not kill them but stun them. And then the one thing I like with these tanks is that I can be literally right on them making so much noise and they don't get alerted to you. But that was me using the distraction shot so I could get behind him. But once you deal with all those Cobra tanks, you have to go pick up Ivy, and for some reason even though I realized it the first time I played through, I literally can just like jump out of the Batmobile right now and just glide over to where she is. But for some reason I'm doing this jump and I think I was trying to eject, but I didn't eject. It was a weird thing. But go to her and then we'll be in hell.